when students can bring in a device like a cell phone, a mobile device inside your class, if used the right way, it could be an instructional tool. So a
Absolutely.
teacher using cell phones inside the class, they could
Absolutely.
challenge their kids with a question using a website like Poll Everywhere, where they post a question, perhaps on the essential question, and they have the students text in their response. It's a great way for the kids to be able to get that device out. You see it, you know it's being used as an instructional tool and not as some diversion. And by the same token, you're not spinning your head trying to enforce some silly rule that can't really be enforced.
Yeah, and it's beyond Poll Everywhere. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different types of free sites like that, where you can get that immediate feedback, or students can use their cell phones to give you a response. Or even like that Today's Meet that you showed that one time, like todaysmeet.com, where students can be using their cell phones to be posting questions during the activity. So it's, instead of interrupting in the middle, or instead of, a lot of times students have questions, but since there's 35 of us in a room, I can't answer all the questions at the same time, so they can be posting them on there. They could use Wallwisher that same. I mean, there's lots of other resources that you could use with your phone.
And more of these devices that the kids have are tethered to the internet. And as a teacher, again, it gives me one more avenue. If I'm going to have them do research inside the class, they could be using Wikipedia on their mobile device, or they could be going to other sites that I sanction and give them a code to be able to get to. So there's all kinds of ways that we could be using and leveraging what the students have inside the class. I think the one thing that prevents it is all these rules that we put in place, all these barriers. And if somebody from the 1950s was frozen and brought back to life in 2012, the one place that they would probably be the most familiar and comfortable is the American classroom.
Yeah, we're pretty stuck. But even though we have all the rules, I mean, like, a lot of it is about teaching expectations. So like, if you can convince your assistant principal and some of the other people on the campus, then it's about expectations with like, we are going to use our mobile devices, and we're going to use them for good, not for evil. We're going to actually do something with them productive, and that can really turn around the whole viewpoint of how it's used in the classroom.
Yeah, you have to educate. I mean, you have to educate the administration. You have to educate, and oftentimes you have to educate the community on what these devices can be used for. I mean, Twitter can be a diversion if left that way, but it could be a very powerful instructional tool inside the hands of a teacher. What it does add, and this is one thing that no teacher should pass by, is it adds in a layer of accountability onto the teacher. They have to be accountable for the tools that they use. But you know what? They should be. And as a teacher, I would say that as well.